Janie, excuse me, mentioning my name in these live streams. Why are you so upset, Janie? Janie, I think, thinks that I'm trying to make fun of her living situation out there in the RV. Listen, Janie McKenzie, I told you I dig the RV in that sense. It looks like hell. Okay? But you have to do what you have to do. My point is that you choose to live in the RV homeless and don't want to talk about the reasons why you're out there. You had no real reason to move into the RV other than you said that you couldn't handle the high-paced household lifestyle and the daily goings on because of Jack and Lily in that sense. It was too noisy for you. There's too much going on. So you choose to go out into the driveway and live in an RV. You sacrificed your home for Daniel and everybody and Jack and Lily. And you were saying it in a virtuous, look at what I did. And I'm just doing this to help out Daniel. None of that is the point. The point to it all is that you had an issue. There was an issue in the household. The type that holds and forms resentment towards Malaya and the kids. And it's a factor, and it has everything to do with where Jack and Lily are, what got them there, and what happened to them. Has nothing to do with making fun of you, Janie. You want to look like the victim. And you're trying to do it with misquoting me. Now, I did actually have a laugh because it is somewhat funny. Listening to Janie lie and deceive. She mentions up there with Charmaine. She says something to the sort, so, AB, the only thing I got to say to you is, I don't live with my mommy. Okay, don't live in the basement of my mummy's. You're living a life for myself. I don't depend. She's directly responding to AB, criticizing her for living in the camper or the RV. Not criticizing you, Janie. I'm talking about the real reason, the actual reason that you're out there in the first place on your own property, your own trailer. And that sound behind me isn't my mommy. That's my daughter. And I depend on my mother for kindness and love, even though I'm almost 50 years old. So really, the second time she mentioned my name, said, same with AB after talking about Mike. You said a lot of stuff about me. AB, guess what? I'm not going to stop people from saying what they want to say. So she's lumping myself in with all of her critics. You tore me down to the lowest. She basically saying AB talked a lot of shit about me, but I'm not going to silence anyone. I don't know if that's exactly what she was going for there. She seems to screw up what it is that she's trying to say, and it makes the statement all that much more cloudy. She's lashing out. She's a little bit upset. Calling me, I took it when I first heard it as she's calling me some sort of faceless troll that lives in his mother's basement and never sees the outside world. Well, sometimes that's true. Not in my mom's basement, though. Just in my own house. Chasing that AdSense dollar, talking about all of Janie McKenzie's lies. But it fits back into the greater scheme of things is that she's not open to any sort of conversation about the things that she has said about the day in question, May 2nd, May 1st, any of that. All right, it's take what I have to say and you're going to believe it. Because it's the truth. It's the God's honest truth and I'm not here to lie to you. Anyway, so this Janie's defensive and sarcastic. She called me my name out twice by name. She's painting me as one of the people who have tore her down and spread negativity about her. It's a classic Janie move. The victim card plus I'm just living my life in my camper, leave me alone. But she's fading in and out of this, hermit, just want to be left alone. She's a quiet individual, minds her own business, to being an outgoing, in-your-face individual. Well, she's all over the place. Not that it really matters. It's just her immediate response to things. Of course, many are saying that Daniel can't speak, so Janie is coming up and addressing things that are going on regardless if she's around or not. Why does it matter to you, Janie, if you're so virtuous in the truth, if you're telling the truth about everything? You need not worry about one thing. But you're not, Janie. You're lying damn near about everything, and certainly everything important about what it was that happened to Jack and Lily. And you will be going down as an accessory after the fact. This isn't exactly breaking news, but it's always nice to feel appreciated and shout out in her videos. Justin was upset last night because you never shouted his name out. He does a lot more shit talking about Janie. He's got great impersonations of her. Old Smokey. I don't know if it was maybe projection that she was going for. She's really essentially yelling at me for what Daniel's doing to her. I raised it because I'm concerned about Janie's mental health. She deserves some sort of happiness and to be left alone in her old age. However, Daniel and Malaya have made that impossible. And why is that, Janie? Because of the substances, the mathematics, the abuse. You can't help but wonder if she's tied to the event that actually took Jack and Lily's life. It's hard to believe that Janie is standing up for child killers. Janie is an individual who considered Jack and Lily to be second-class citizens around there. Very low on the totem pole.
It has a child.
I don't...
Out there in my decrepit trailer, like everybody calls. And I'm going to say something about that in a few minutes, too. I live out in the camper. So how was I responsible for the kids being outside that morning? If I want to live in a cardboard box, I'll live in a cardboard box. So, AB, the only thing I got to say to you is, I don't live with my mommy. Okay? I don't live in the basement of my mommy's.
You're living with your mommy.
I get up and made a life for myself. I don't depend.
Daniel, what are you laughing? You're living with your mommy.
What? At least I don't live with my mommy. I don't live with my mommy. What the hell are you talking about? What the hell is Daniel laughing at in the background?
Daniel, what are you laughing?
I get up and made a life for myself. I don't depend.
Daniel, what are you laughing? You're living with your mommy.
On their phones or whatever, instead of typing, why don't they listen? Listen for a change. Listen to...
Oh, I listen to you. I listen to you. That's why you like to run to some ass washers who tell you what you want to hear.
The only issue is, I don't live with my mommy. Okay? I don't live in the basement of my mommy's.
What in the hell is all that about? Living in the basement of my mommy's. I wish I lived there.
You're living with your mommy.
I get up and made a life for myself. I don't depend.
Daniel, what are you laughing? You're living with your mommy.
On their phones or whatever, instead of typing, why don't they listen? Listen for a change. Listen to...
Oh, I listen to you. I listen to you. That's why you like to run to some ass washers who tell you what you want to hear. I listen to you, and I listen so closely that I repeat to you exactly what you're saying. And now we're going to find a place where you talk about the driveway.
Questions, and then we will get into all of that in a minute. But just following up on the thing with Darren Geddes.
Yeah, you're
I mean, that
obsessed with
question there,
Darren Geddes. I know that. I know that. You made him famous too.
If I asked Malaya to please come out and tell us what.
Okay.
Okay? That's fine. I'm glad she went out. At least she showed an appearance. At least she came out of her little.
Oh, God, this is so
Or
pathetic.
hit a dead end with their, the evidence that they have or the information they've been able to get. I mean,
This
it
is
just
so
doesn't make sense.
unlistenable. This is so
A
horrible.
news reporter or even a you. Okay? That's fine. I'm glad she went out. At least she showed an appearance. At least she came out of her little hole she's been hiding.
All you people are just, I don't even know what to say.
You got poor Mike all discombobulated.
My dog started barking, and the kids were out in the yard. Now you can see there's two swings where the kids play. My bedroom is right there. I heard the kids. This is where the kids' swings are. This is where they always played.
And so that's where
I heard them. And I can hear everything in that trailer. If two kids get out of a fence, and Jack and Lily are all the time.
Now that's one beautiful ice hut she's got behind her. That's where it belongs, is out on the ice, Janie.
Yelling, especially Lily, come on, Jackie, let's go, Jackie, let's go, Jackie. It's all I hear.
Janie, the point is not to make fun of you or the RV, darling. You are in denial. You're in denial over the substance abuse disorder that's amongst all of the adults that were staying at your house. You removed yourself from the craziness because you can hear everything anyway, everywhere on that property. Now, the RV just looks like it came out of a Hollywood apocalypse film. But I'm sure it gets warm as hell in there with the wood stove. Cool. Fantastic if you're a bachelor and things like this. The point to everything is it's not a preferred accommodation by the owner of the premises, which is you. It's your home, Janie, and you've been forced out of it. Now, you don't describe it like that, but you do. You say everything about it. Now you're insulted because you think that I'm casting judgment. I just told you the RV is cool in certain situations, but not for your everyday living situation, in this case with Jack and Lily. You said on that panel that you sacrificed. You sacrificed so that Daniel and Malaya and the kids could have the trailer. There was probably no reason why you had to move out of that trailer other than that you were put off and you just wanted your peace and quiet. But it points to a deeper resentment towards what's going on. It's a resentment towards Jack and Lily, who are now vanished into thin air, and you don't know anything about it, or so you want us to believe, girl.
Here out here. When the kids get out of the fence and come out through here, I would have heard them yelling, come on, Jackie, let's go, Jackie, let's go. I didn't hear anything. The next thing I heard is I heard Daniel yelling. He was yelling for Jack and Lily. I didn't get up because I thought he was yelling for Jack and Lily in the house. So the next thing you know, I came out of the trailer after I heard Daniel, about, I'd say, 10 minutes after I heard him, I come out of the trailer. I opened up.
You're telling me that RV and the setup isn't fascinating AF? It would be a good snowmobile shack. You could have it out on the trail and people could pull up and just go in and warm up and have a little bar up there by the driver's seat. You've got it all partially insulated with the earth already. You've got all of the boards on the bottom taking away the breeze so the floor won't lose its heat. Just a fantastic little setup. Even still, Janie, I can't think of any more compliments to give the RV right now. But again, it has everything to do with the purpose of you having to go out and use that and lead on like this is just normal life around there in front of the cameras. Nothing to see here. Oh, there's all kinds of things to see and we're talking about it and you don't like it.
Up the door, was standing here. Malaya was standing. Right here, with Meadow on her hip, and I come out, and I said, "What's up?" She said, "Jack and Lily are missing." I said, "How long?" She said, "About 20 minutes."
Listen, old Derpwood just walked by. So Derwood and Janie's sister-in-law or sister? Which McKenzie is Derwood banging? Janie's brothers. Isn't it Logan's aunt or grandma? There's some sort of connection there. And then it keeps coming up that Derwood's old lady that kicked him out, his wife, Jordan's mom, is a Corbett related to Kent. It's a real family affair here. It's like Daniel and the Family Stone. Daniel and the Family Stoners.
I closed the door, got my boots on, came out here, ran up in the woods. Just right up here. The kids have a little fort that they made out of sticks and fir branches, and that's where they go. You can see them and hear them. We went for walks in the woods. I had to practically carry Jack through the woods because there was no way that he was walking through all that tree falls and bushes. I did this whole area. There's an old road up back. When I got up to the top of the hill, I met Daniel. And I said to him, I said, "Did you find them?" He said, "No." He said, "You coming with me?" I said, "No." I said, "I'm going to search this area." Because when she told me the kids were missing, you automatically think they went into the woods. That was my first instinct. So I went up.
Oh, little Miss Contradiction, Janie. We don't believe you, hon. The RCMP don't believe you. And I can't wait to learn where they are going to take this next.
I'm not here to lie. The reason why I wanted you guys to come here and do the interview here is to show you exactly where everything took place. And to show people that this is what happened. All the stuff that people, all the rumors and accusations about us murdering the kids and burying them on the property, this place has been searched thoroughly. The well has been checked, the septic tank, all the barns were searched. My RV was searched 3 times. The trailer was searched.
See what she did there? She's so specific about all of this scrutiny online against her is something about Jack and Lily being buried on the property. She's the only one that ever brings something like that up. It's something that you can use in the moment when you're fabricating like this that your mind can trust and rely on. Oh, that's so specific. It's true. But the problem is that nobody's accusing you of burying the kids on the property, Janie. So again, your statement is taking people away. It's a deflection. Massive avoidance. Distancing language. We see through you, Janie. talking about how innocent you are in all of this rather than what happened to Jack and Lily that particular day. Specifically the Thursday before, Little Miss Carpentry.
This whole place was searched. If they want to come back and search again, they're more than welcome.
You've talked about drones flying over your property. You've
Yes.
talked about cars driving down the road and
Yes.
slowing down. What's that been like?
I'm scared to go out sometimes in my own property. I mostly stay around back here. And if I do go out front for anything, I usually have my head down because I don't want people to see who I am.
That's so bizarre. She's out in the middle of nowhere with nobody driving by and she's sketchy. She doesn't even like the squirrels looking at her. Just having a nice, enjoying, relaxing, refreshing drink out here on my front lawn / driveway outside the fucking dilapidated RV. Janie, you're nasty because of where you are in your heart. You know, that thing that you measure how and if Jack and Lily are still alive, girl. That's what makes you ugly. It's too bad, too.